They're mad.
Yeah, more from them in a moment. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul is with us now. Sir, good morning to you, back home in your home state of Kentucky, and thank you for being here. Do you channel some of that anger that we're just hearing right there, some of that emotion?
You know, I think it's hard to imagine a more incompetent withdrawal, with the Biden administration, I think, totally screwing up the withdrawal. But I think there's a lot of blame to go around to both parties. And I think the important lesson to get here is not that we left too soon, that we stayed too long. I mean, we've put hundreds of billions of dollars into this country, and they fought for a week. They fought for less than a week. Most of them didn't fight at all. They just laid down their arms. But they expect us to come back and do the fighting for them. So I do have a different take on this. I think the take is that nation building doesn't work. Hundreds of billions of dollars, and they fought for less than a week. So I think we should have been gone 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and that really we should disrupt threats to attack us. But we shouldn't go around the world trying to create nations out of whole cloth. Afghanistan's never been a nation. It's a collection of tribes. They were killing each other before we got there. They'll kill each other after we're gone. But it's kind of despicable to sort of encourage them all to flee the country and not to fight. See, a month ago, people in our Congress were saying, oh, we need to take 70,000 of them. Well, if 70,000 of the best people who speak English and like the West leave, what does that leave over there? It leaves the Taliban. So it'd be sort of like after 1812, James Madison saying, well, maybe we should just go to France. They burned our White House. Maybe we should go to France. No. Where are the Afghan fighters? So when people say all they're fighters, I see a bunch of people laying down their arms and giving their uniforms and giving their tanks.
Yeah. I understand the sentiment you're relaying to us now, but all that stuff in a vacuum sounds pretty good if you go back in time 10 years ago. But you're dealing with a different reality now. And
but the thing is they've had plenty of time to prepare for this. This didn't come along precipitously. We've been talking about leaving for years now. We've been turning over more and more responsibility to the Afghan army. They've had years to patrol the cities, and yet they did not fight. When push came to shove, they laid down their arms and ran.
Well,
and
so simple question then, are you okay with the decisions that President Biden has made then?
I think Biden did a terrible job in the withdrawal. So no, I don't think it was executed very well at all. But we did need to leave, and there has been a consensus for a decade or more to leave. So the problem isn't in leaving. The problem is that we stayed too long. So the longer we stayed, the more the expectations were. But the more complacent the Afghans grew as we fought their battles. Year after year, we fought their battles. And so they had to step up when time came. Instead of James Madison or Monroe rallying the troops in 1812, the guy got on a plane and flew out immediately and left the country, and all his soldiers laid down their arms. But we were encouraging this 2 months ago when we were encouraging the best and brightest people in Afghanistan to leave. We were encouraging that it was inevitable 2 months ago when everybody in Congress was saying, oh, it's going to be a debacle. We must have all the good people in Afghanistan leave. Instead of saying, why don't we rally them to fight? Why don't we rally them to fight? We've been working with them for 20 years. And they chose not to fight for their country.
And some of those members of Congress just said that they don't want their own family members beheaded. You understand that sympathy there. Last point on this. President Biden changed Keystone. He changed the Paris Climate Agreement. He changed the Iran nuclear deal. He could have changed this and chose not to.
Right. I think the withdrawal, the organization of the withdrawal was completely inept and incompetent, and we could have done much better to protect American lives on the way out. But also, it's a complete failure of our intelligence community not to realize that the Afghan army wasn't equipped to fight. But how demoralizing is it to those who are for nation building that after 20 years and all the weapons and all the training that they still chose not to fight? We had 300,000 supposedly between the police and the army, and 300,000 melted away between 25,000 fighters. There's probably not more than 10,000 Taliban in any one place. And they all just threw down their arms. This is an indictment. This is an indictment of nation building. We should learn not to do it again.
Well, we've got a mess on our hands now. Senator Rand Paul, thank you for your time back in the state of Kentucky.